Now, before we proceed to our next lesson, it's very important that we should look back to our previous study, that what we have learned till now, and I would like to recall some of the very important concepts that we have covered so far. Please remember that we have learned about the project, program, and the portfolio concepts. We have also learned the basics of Oracle Primavera P6, including its basic architecture. Then we explained about the key concepts used in the Oracle Primavera P6. We already have detailed discussion on the Organizational Breakdown Structure or OBS, Enterprise Project Structure or EPS, Work Breakdown Structure or what we called as WBS. Then we discussed about the activities, enterprise data and the project data. After this, in the third section, we have discussed about the Primavera P6 default screen. We learned about different sections in the projects and activities windows, such as table view, Gantt chart view, and the details form in the bottom. We learned the procedure to open a certain project from the projects list. Now, please recall that we have briefly explained about each and every toolbar icons and their functions in the left, right, and top in the main P6 screen in section 3 of our course. It's very important for us to note that, remember I said we have 3 toolbars in the left, which are Standard, Enterprise, and Project toolbars. Then on the right, also we have 3 toolbars. There we have Edit, Assign, and Move toolbars there. Now after at the top, we have Print toolbar, Top layout, Bottom layout, Layout toolbar, Tools toolbar, and Display toolbar there. As you know, we have learned the meanings of each and every icon or function that is there in the toolbars. Then we briefly explained the function of main menu commands that are available in the File, Edit, View, Project, Enterprise, Tools, Admin, and Help menus there. Great. Then now you know very well about the Primavera P6 default window, and you are comfortable and familiar using the Primavera P6 interface now. So I'm sure you are aware of the different sections of the default screen, and you can find and locate the needed functions or commands whenever needed. Now, till this point, if you have any questions in mind, then please post this in the Udemy course discussion area, and I will respond as soon as I can. Also, please note that in this lesson, our primary focus will be to see and learn the procedure that is required to create the Organizational Breakdown Structure or OBS, Enterprise Project Structure, using the methods that are available in the Oracle Primavera P6. Okay, so let's move forward and actually start using and working on what we have learned so far. Okay, so let's start with the Organizational Breakdown Structure or OBS. Now, as you see here, we have table view or the projects view on the left side, Gantt chart view on the right side, and down below we have detailed form there. Now, normally what happens is whenever you log in for the first time in your Primavera P6 professional software, you will see the screen, you will see the window similar like this. Now, in order to create the OBS, we need to go to the Enterprise menu. I will click on Enterprise, then I will select the OBS. Now, as you can see here, the Organizational Breakdown Structure window, it is opened in front of us. And in the main window, we have the EPS or Enterprise Project Structure displaying there. Down below, we have the details form, and on the right side, we have the buttons there that we can use to add, delete, or copy, cut, paste, etc. Okay, if I click on Add button in order to add the Organizational Breakdown Structure, I'll click Add. Now you see it is giving me the information like in order to add an OBS element, the filter will be changed to display all OBS elements. I will just click OK. Now you see it is displaying all the OBS, all organizational breakdown structure elements there. I will change the new OBS as ARBA Incorporated. Okay, so before we proceed further, do you know what is the OBS or organizational breakdown structure? If you can remember, as we have discussed previously, OBS is a hierarchy which represents the divisions, departments, or the responsible managers in a certain organization. So that means organizational breakdown structure or OBS, it represents the people who will be actually working on the projects. I mean, it breaks down the people into hierarchy. Now, as you can see here, we have created our new OBS as ARBA Incorporated. ARBA Incorporated is basically the organization that will be actually managing our new project. Now here, we can always change the position of our organization, whether we want to keep it at the top or if we want, we can move it at the bottom. For example, I will move it in the bottom by pressing this shift down button. Okay, so as you see here, it is moved there already in the bottom. Now let's create the departments under ARBA Incorporated. I'll click Add, and as you see, the new OBS element is there. I will rename. Okay, I will click on this and rename the new OBS as Structural Engineering Division. Okay, then I will add another one. I will click on New OBS and rename it as Electrical and Mechanical Division. I will just expand so that we can clearly see the name. Next, I will click Add button again to add our third OBS element. I'll click on New OBS and rename it as Operation and Maintenance Division. Operation and Maintenance Division. Okay, now since we have three OBS elements that belong to the ARBA Incorporated, so we need to change the hierarchy or the position of these three WBS elements. I will use the right or shift right arrow on the right side to move it under ARBA Incorporated. Let me click on this right arrow. Okay, you see the OBS element is moved under ARBA Incorporated. Now similarly, I will click on Electrical and Mechanical Division and press the shift right button. Similar way, I will click on Operation and Maintenance Division and click on the shift right button to move it under ARBA Incorporated. So you see, we have an organization called ARBA Incorporated, and we have three OBS elements under it that are Electrical and Mechanical Division, Structural Engineering Division, and Operation and Maintenance Division. Now, if you see below, we have a Journal and Responsibility tabs there. By using the Journal tab, we can provide more details that can help us to explain a lot more about a certain organizational breakdown structure element. And then we have Responsibility tab there. In the Responsibility tab, basically this tab shows us the name of projects ID and the project's names there that this particular OBS element is assigned. We don't see any entries here since these are the newly created OBS elements, and we haven't assigned these OBS elements to any project ID, WBS code, and project name, etc. Okay, so once you are done with it and provided all the details necessary in this organizational breakdown structure window, we'll click on Close button to close the window in the top right corner. I will click on Close now. Now you see the OBS window is disappeared from the main screen now. So what we have done here, we have created all the OBS or organizational breakdown structure elements that are required for our organization. In fact, we clicked on Enterprise, then we clicked on OBS options here. It opened up the organizational breakdown structure window in front of us. Then we use the add button on the upper right corner, okay, to add the the 4 WBS elements there, okay, the parent OBS element or the organization called Arba Incorporated. Then for this organization, Arba Incorporated, we have added the 3 divisions for this certain organization, that are electrical and mechanical division, structural engineering division, and operation and maintenance division. So once we're done with that and we provided all the details or the OBS descriptions if needed, and after doing so, we clicked on close button to close the OBS window. So this is how we normally create our organizational breakdown structure elements in the Oracle Primavera P6. Okay, so next we will create the enterprise project structure or EPS. Creation of the enterprise project structure in Oracle Primavera P6 is easy. In order to create EPS, I can click on Enterprise from the top menu and then click on Enterprise Project Structure option there. As you see here, it has opened the Enterprise Project Structure window in front of us, which is displaying all the EPS that are created there already in the Oracle Primavera P6. And down below we have 3 options or 3 fields there that are called EPS ID, EPS name, or responsible manager there. We can modify these fields whenever required. If you can recall from our previous session, do you remember the definition of enterprise project structure? As you know that enterprise project structure is a hierarchy like organizational breakdown structure. Enterprise project structure, it consists of the projects that are having similar characteristics. Please always remember that we can create a sub-EPS under a certain EPS node. Let's create our EPS node and I will click on Add button here on the upper right corner. Our EPS ID is ARI and I will double click on the EPS name to rename it as Arba Incorporated. Okay, now I need to create 2 more EPS under this EPS Arba Incorporated. So I will create 2 more here. I will click Add twice. Okay, now the first EPS, I will double click in the EPS ID and change the ID as IDP. I will double click under EPS name and rename the EPS name as Internal Development Projects. Now the third EPS will be, the ID is CS and the EPS name is Customer Projects. Customer Projects. Now since our parent EPS node is Arba Incorporated, so I have to move these 2 nodes, Internal Development Projects and the Customer Projects, under this parent EPS node. And for this, I will make use of these arrows. I will use the shift right icon to move this Customer Projects and Internal Development Projects under Arba Incorporated. As you see here, our parent EPS node is Arba Incorporated. So I will click on Internal Development Projects and move this under Arba Incorporated. I will click on Shift Right button. Similarly, I will click on Customer Projects and I will move it under Arba Incorporated. Now you see here in the Enterprise Project Structure window that our both EPS, Customer Projects and Internal Development Projects are showing under Arba Incorporated. That means Arba Incorporated is our parent node and Customer Projects along with the Internal Development Projects are the child nodes. Also please note that the EPS is, the main objective of the EPS is to organize and group the set of related projects. Now, can you tell me who will be the responsible manager here for these particular EPS nodes? I will click on Responsible Manager on this button here. Now you see the Select Responsible Manager window is opened in front of us. I will move at the end of this list. We have created 3 divisions under our main OBS element or organization that is called Arba Incorporated. we have electrical and mechanical division, structural engineering division, operation and maintenance division. So I'll say here that the customer projects will be the responsibility of the operations and maintenance division. I will click here and I will click on select button on the right side. Now you see the responsible manager changes here. It is operation and maintenance division now. Similarly, for the internal development projects, I will click on responsible manager button here. I will move it down and I will select the structural engineering division for this particular EPS node, which is, in this case, it is internal development projects. So in other words, all the customer projects will be the responsibility of the operations and maintenance division, and the internal projects, all internal development projects will be the responsibility of the structural engineering division. Now, please remember here that we can use the delete button to delete a particular EPS in the window. Similarly, we can use the cut and copy operations for these ABS elements as displayed in the enterprise project structure window. And if you see, we have 4 arrow-like icons here, or arrow-like buttons here. By using these arrows, we can move a certain EPS node left and right, up and down as needed. Okay, I will click on close button now in the upper right corner. So this is how we create a enterprise project structure or EPS node and can assign the responsible manager accordingly. Now, as you have seen here that both organizational breakdown structure and enterprise project structure can be created by using the enterprise menu from the top. For the enterprise project structure, we will select the enterprise project structure option here. And for the organizational breakdown structure, we will select the OBS option here in the enterprise menu from the top. And please don't forget that in case if you don't see the projects window in front of you, whenever you open your Primavera P6 Professional software, then you can always click on the projects icon in the enterprise toolbar in the left side or display the projects window as needed. So I hope the lesson has been useful for you, and I want to say you thank you, and I hope to see you in the next lesson.